Thank you so much. Thanks to the AIM team for having us here. And last but not the least, let's talk a little bit about Kogo. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Kogo and why we are doing what we are doing, right? Our baseline is human potential meets AI. Now, what that essentially means is we want to make AI accessible to people across the board, irrespective of what kind of technology background they come from, right? And what we realized was that there was a huge gap in the market in terms of the understanding of AI, the technological understanding of AI, and actually the implementation of AI. Almost everything is in a POC mode, or you're trying to play around with models. We're all fighting every day with hallucinations, distractions, guardrails, censorship. All of these kind of things are going around. But there is no way to put something together very quickly, deploy it at scale in production, whether you're a small company or a large enterprise or a system integrator. So we set it out, and we decided that we are going to build a production-grade platform that can create AI applications and AI agents at scale, deploy them on-premise for any kind of use case. And that's the challenge that we took. I'll take a little time kind of explaining what we understand as AI agents, right? A couple of years back, the LLMs really came into the forefront, but by itself, they cannot be driven, right? They need tools, they need agentic flows, they need functions, and they need to talk to data. That could be sitting anywhere, through any medium, to be able to process and go from point A to point B. And that's what essentially an agent does. I would say we are at early stages of what agents can do. They're more automation focused today than autonomous, but we're moving in that direction where agents are going to become autonomous, make decisions, and this will only happen if we are able to automate existing processes. So I see step one as automating existing processes, and then these automated intelligent processes start talking to each other. So your intelligent finance process talks to your accounting process, talks to your marketing process, and that's how agents are going to learn and make better decisions and help us. Something we decided internally in the company, we declared that 1st of February onwards, Kogo will be a 4-day-a-week working company because we want to first build agents and implement them in our workflow versus others. So what I'm here to talk about is what we are doing with a lot of companies that we are working with and how we are doing this. So we decided to build a low-code, no-code platform to create autonomous agents. It already has about 600 integrations and pre-built tools that can be used, plugged in into a simple GUI. It supports all LLMs and SLMs. It works on our proprietary agent graph, which is not built on any existing wrapper. It is built in-house. It also has enterprise-grade security, which means it can be deployed on ground, on-premise. It can be deployed on any cloud, and instantly work inside an organization. Because the biggest thing we realize companies need, and that's what I'm going to talk about a lot of use cases today, because we are working with so many companies today. Wherever we are going, we are coming back with a project. Only because of one reason: people want them to be implemented quickly. They want them to run inside their premise because companies are scared of where the data is going to go on the cloud. Whether you're a financial company or a bank, data cannot go outside of their premise. And that was the first thing that we did. The next thing that we did was we made sure that these agents can be deployed, whether you're on WhatsApp, chat, API, inside your app, wherever you want, instantly copy and paste that code and deploy it in your app. So having said that, there are 4 important things that we realize we need to build in this ecosystem to win. The first one is speed to deployment. Has to be low code, no code, has to come with a large number of agent templates that you can just copy, customize, and roll out. It has to be multimodal, multi-agent, which means these agents have to be able to put together in chains and then adopt complex workflows. Pricing was a very, very challenging thing. We needed to make pricing and predictability of these agents very clear. People don't know what it's going to cost. If I run my rack pipeline, okay, across financial data, and I want to query it, what is it actually going to cost? We've built our own token model that takes into account all the tools that are available to an agent, predict a cost, you can actually see how much it's going to cost you in real time as you roll out this agent. So if an agent uses about 15 tools, an API, RAG, it talks to data, it talks to context that is made available to it, you can literally predict that pricing out of the box. And of course, these agents need to get deployed in the real world. People need to talk to them. People need to implement them. So multi-channel was very, very important. We are already integrated with WhatsApp, Twilio. We are working with call center dialers to integrate with voice ingestion and sentiment analysis agents. So we are going out and integrating with every possible platform that is out there, building a bridge or using bridges that are already built and making sure that these agents can be deployed. We are, in fact, first week of October, launching India's largest and first AI agent store. And we've already started working on building a lot of these agents. A lot of them are custom plug-and-play agents. Some are customizable. So if you're a gym or you're a salon and you want an AI agent to answer your phone calls, all you have to do is copy the agent, upload your documents, and deploy. That is it. That is about it. It takes about 2 minutes to roll out a customer service agent or a business intelligence agent, HR agent. A lot of these templated, available right out of the box on the store. If you're a developer or you're a company that wants to build agents and put them into workflows, we have agents that can do sentiment analysis, CSAT scores, transcription, transcribing. You don't have to go out and choose a text-to-speech model and then build that pipeline. Just copy the API, paste it in your workflow, and that's it. And we are going gung-ho about reaching about 500 such agents over the next 60 days, all plug and play. And then, of course, we're also building a lot of custom agents for companies. That's why I'm here. I'm here to talk about use cases, right? That's the biggest question. How will this industry monetize itself? How is AI going to monetize? Where are the use cases? Everyone asks us, okay, what is the use case of an agent? I've got about 8 of them here. These are real-world projects that we are currently working on, and I'm going to walk through a lot of these. Okay, I have a lot of time. I can take it easy. Right, let's start. We are working with a very large enterprise that sells servers. Now, this is a global company, but as they manage these servers for large number of enterprise and SME clients, they need to run a lot of orchestrations for these servers. I need to load software, I need to check status on the servers. These orchestrations are currently completely GUI based on their control panel. Like if you've used AWS or any other console, you know that you need to fill up a lot of forms, you need to check status of a lot of services that might be running, not running. We've deployed our platform inside their premise. They're using it to build orchestrations right out of the box without writing any code. All they do is they define the workflow, and they're able to see it execute in real time. So it's kind of like a form builder. So you just define the forms, you just put the workflow there, and the agent executes that workflow. In case there is a problem in that workflow, the agent also alerts you and tells you that it's not working. Very simple use case, very simple example, but scalable because what they needed was on-prem. They needed something that could handle hundreds of orchestrations. Third, they needed an interface that their customers could use, and they could create custom orchestrations for customers, right? So same marketplace, same store that we've built for agents, they're building their own orchestrations on top of it. This is something that we're really excited about. We are actually working with the defense forces on a pilot project, which is essentially focused on building situational awareness. And we are really excited about this. Situational awareness for the man on the ground, right? Now, you have, let's say, for example, a tank. There is a certain amount of data that it generates, and there is a certain amount of data that it can generate. So here what we are doing is we are working with Qualcomm on edge-based agents that run on an Android phone, run an ML model. So there's a SLM, about 2B parameter SLM that is quantized and running in a Android device, has access to a few pre-trained ML models, is interfacing over a Bluetooth or a Wi-Fi connection to the sensors that are placed in a legacy system, and is actually able to take situational decisions on the health of that equipment, which is very, very important for a man on the ground. Is the engine working fine? Is it similar, very similar to a dashboard on your car, but the sensors don't exist. The sensors don't talk to these models. There is no local intelligence that can talk to me in natural language. So this is a pure edge-based agent that has no access to internet, processes a lot of data on ground, on-prem, on the edge, and then sends it to the cloud. Earlier, what they were doing was they were taking all the data, they're sending everything to the cloud processes it, and then it comes back. But there is no data or internet connectivity available. So what do you do in that case? That's where edge-based agents will come into play. Yes, so the next thing that we are currently working on is a very wide use case. I mean, wherever we are going, understanding customer sentiment on calls for call centers is a huge, huge thing. A lot of platforms are already building this in. Very simple agent, but essentially understands the calls. And we're taking this a step further. So let's say there is a live call going on between a customer support agent and an actual customer. And this call is transcribed, sentiment analysis is done in real time. You have a CSAT score that is generated after the call, notes that are generated for the customer service agent so they don't have to fill this up. There is an agent assist that helps them answer questions using either a RAG pipeline or APIs that are available. So it actually formulates the answer that you don't have to think about what to answer. You can just copy and paste that answer for a customer. But what it does after that is what is interesting. It actually clubs all these transcripts and calls together, turns them into an actual dashboard that is auto-generated. So we're also working very hard to build auto-generated dashboards. We realize that what agents can do really well is give you modular information on the same screen. I don't want to see what another person is seeing, right? I want information that is related to me. So you can actually add a widget in real time, ask the question that you want the widget to display, and the widget displays that answer. So it qualifies the issues from these hundreds of transcripts. It finds out what the problem statement was for which the call was there. And now you can actually put these dynamic filters, and this applies to any kind of dashboard. So any data that has to be processed and presented in a tabular format or as a dashboard is what this agent actually does. So understanding better the call rates, the closure rates, the sentiment, the CSAT score of calls that are happening at customer support centers is a very, very big use case, and we're working with multiple partners to deploy this. There is a short video. I will see if I can. Okay, no, it doesn't agree with me. All right. Let's try one more time. Okay, this is interesting. This was just a fun project, but it turned out to be something very, very big. We were given a project of taking video content across multiple languages for Patanjali, right? So we built something which essentially converts any video. We've trained a custom model for lip syncing, transcription, transcribing, approval of that transcribe, and converting into a video model that actually does a lip sync, and you can convert it into any language in the world and roll that out. This is something that we need to do for 200K minutes. Now the challenge here is not the technology, the challenge here is pricing. The cost of this technology is very, very high. So we're actually having to re-engineer the tools to bring down the cost, and how to make it accessible for large numbers. Because 200,000 minutes for 25 different languages, about 5 million minutes of content. Now, nobody would spend that kind of money. So we're actually having to train local models to be able to do this kind of inference and serve this at scale. This is one of the projects that we are currently working on manufacturing. If anybody is here from a manufacturing background, CNC machines require a specific G-code model to be able to convert a drawing into a CNC machine understandable language. These are PLC-based languages, haven't changed for eons. We're actually training a custom model to be able to write machine code, which is G code, from a drawing to be able to execute it on a machine. This was a challenge that was run by one of the companies, and we got shortlisted for that challenge. Now, this is, again, an example of custom building a tool to serve an actual use case. That's what we are having to do in a lot of cases. But once those tools are ready, those tools can actually be applied to multiple places across multiple agents on the marketplace. And this is what use cases do. Real world deployment and real world requirement of agents does for you. Right. Now, this is essentially a pure voice agent, which is something that we are doing with Hero Insurance. Nothing very complicated, but the ability to work with dialers to handle a call, initiate a call to an outbound potential customer, and then hand it over to a human in the loop is one of the requirements that is, again, very, very wide. Many companies are trying to build this. Cost is a huge concern here. And implementation in terms of low latency, again, is a very big challenge here. So same here, we had to actually build our own custom architecture to be able to manage this, because LLMs have a certain response time. When you have function calling involved, response time increases. Now that usually doesn't work very well for voice-based agents. That latency breaks the loop. So we had to build filler injections, a lot of those things to be able to manage a spontaneous natural language call that goes out to an external user. All the agents that we are building are voice enabled. So any agent that is conversational on the Kogo platform can be implemented in voice on any VoIP based service that can be integrated. It's already integrated with Twilio. So it's out-of-the-box implementation of a voice agent. Okay, this is interesting. This is how possibly a chain of agent or a group of agents can come together to build a product. We're actually building a product called Vibe Check. We are launching it on 15th of October. A lot of it is to showcase capability of agents. We are working with a marketing consultancy here. They're a performance marketing company, and instantly wanted for Amazon sellers to have a dashboard which is custom created for them to understand what is it that people are saying on their Amazon page. What is it that the competitors are doing in terms of pricing strategy? What is it that people are advertising on Amazon? What is the share of voice for a particular keyword? So we built 3 separate agents. One is a basic scraping agent that goes and gets the reviews. But then after that, it's ingested into a RAG pipeline. You can actually ask this agent, what do people love about my product in terms of its packaging, who have rated it 2-star, right? Or people who hate something about my product, who've rated it 1 star in terms of product pricing or benefits. You can actually ask such questions and it gives you answers. So it analyzes what people are saying, gives you a voice check. You can add competing brands. It can check pricing. If any brand drops a price, it can tell you that price has been dropped. You can also check your pricing. It can also do share of voice, which means if I want to know for a particular keyword like canvas shoes, who are the top advertisers for canvas shoes for a particular model, right? I just have to put that keyword and it generates a dashboard of what is the share of voice of people advertising on canvas shoes. Now, this helps me optimize my advertising campaign. Very simple agents, but when put into this chain, can come together and build a great product. And this is something that we're taking to market next month. We are a MapMyIndia funded company. MapMyIndia has a navigation app, homegrown navigation app called Mapples. We also realize that there are a lot of businesses that are hosted on the MapMyIndia app. So with them, we realize that there is an opportunity to get access to a customer service agent to save time for small businesses at scale. So if you're listed as a business on Map My India, very soon there'll be a button saying claim an agent for yourself. You can choose whether you want a bookings agent or a customer support agent, select it, make a small payment, and your agent is off the ground. It'll ask you some questions, you answer it, it learns about your business, and now initial calls, whether on phone or on chat, can be taken over by that agent. And then, of course, pass it to a human in the loop. The big challenge here, again, is pricing. We need to make these agents cheaper, give people unlimited access, whilst making something that is profitable for the company. And that's why a lot of engineering has gone into the place where we are building specific techniques to reduce cost of tokens, to reduce the number of tokens. So we've actually designed a prompting technique that is completely almost like a prompting agent that decides what the size of the prompt, the content of the prompt needs to be based on the conversation or the situation of that conversation with the user. Really optimizing that cost. That's